Hello everyone. In this video, we will be developing the Microsoft Power Automate flow, and we will be updating the business process flow stages, this traverse path based on the option set values change on that. So one of the common process on the opportunity is the opportunity sales process, and this process is designed like this. And you can see we have four different stages here, and these stage values are coming from the category here: qualify, develop, propose, and close. And based for these values on the opportunity entity itself, there is one field called sales stage, and this field is using the global option set here, opportunity underscore sales stage. And inside this field, that is option set value, we are having the four stages here: qualify, develop, propose, and close. And then respective value for this one is 3, 2, 1, and 0. So we will be checking these values for updating the traverse path. Like if you have selected the qualify in the drop down here, so it will be updated here. So you can see here on the opportunity form, I have added that field here, sales stage, here on the header of the form editor. From the form editor, I have added this field. So when we change this to qualify, and when we save this, then this traverse path of this flow, business process flow, has to be selected as a qualify here. So like when you refresh, you can see it is not changing. So you certain time you will have a requirement like based on the change of the field from the some integration, some third party system, you are changing the option set value. And then if you want to update this traverse path based on that, then you can use this for you can use this concept to update this traverse path. So there is other way to do that, like you can use the JavaScript or some C# code custom activity you can develop to do that. But I found the using the Power Automate, it is easy to design, and we can do that without writing any code and custom logic for that. So let's proceed here. I think we have understood the requirement here. So I have logged into the Power Automate here, and we will select the particular instance where you want to develop. You will select the dev or your test instance as per your requirement. So I have selected my instance where I'm going to develop this. So on this instance, I don't have any flow as of now created. So I'm going to add the new flow here. I'll name it as a opportunity sales process. Open sales process, business process flow. And the trigger point will be since I'm going to trigger against the dynamics, so I will be using the common data service. And since the dynamics 365 connector has been deprecated by Microsoft, so we cannot use. And in the common data service also, we have two types of connector. One is with the current environment, another is with normal common data service. So we will be using current environment here, this one. And why I will be using on the update when the record is created updated, because on the existing record I will be changing this value, right? So that is why this is on update of the record, right? And when this particular field value is changed, then my flow has to be triggered. So that is why this connector I will use, and the connector type will be the current environment. Why? Because when you export this flow from one instance to another instance, then the you don't have to change the connector inside the flow design manually. It will be automatically changed where you will install the package. So that is why the current environment connector you can use for that. So I have selected this one. I'm going to create. So the trigger condition will be on the update of the record, and the record is the opportunity. And then a scope will be the organization label. There is other option, so you can use this one: process owner, or record owner, trigger user. So what will happen, this is just like the in the custom in the dynamics. When we design any workflow, we have the run as, right? So we have two different scope. One is the owner of the workflow in the dynamics, another is the who has triggered the workflow, who is triggering the action. So like that, here in the flow also we have the feature. We can take that one. So you can take appropriate how you want. So I'm going to take this as a trigger user. Okay. And then if you want to run the workflow on the specific attribute when some value is changed, on the some attribute, you can use that one. We have other conditions also, filter expressions and postpone until something timeline also we are having. We can use this feature whenever like what are the trigger points for your flow is to be. So I'm going to filter it based on the attribute, since I want to run this flow based only on change of this one. So a schema name of this field is this one, sales stage. So I'll take this schema name here and I'll put here inside my flow here, filter attributes. So whenever the opportunity record is updated and the change is in this field, then this workflow will be triggered. Okay, the next stage is I want to query through the opportunity stage, so opportunity sales process, where the opportunity ID is equal to the particular record ID. So what will happen when we create the any business process flow? The one entity will be created with that name, and whenever whenever the new record is created against those entity where we have created the business process flow, then one record is created for that business process flow entity, and that will be displayed here. So what are the process stage what we are using here? That will be constant as per the as per the environments. Like for this particular environment, this process stage ID will be the common, and like whenever we use the qualified develop, so this will be the common for that. So those GUIDs we have to retrieve first, right? So first to retrieve this GUIDs here, to update here those stages here, first I have to query through the opportunity sales process here, this entity, because this is the business process flow. So this is the entity for that. So I have to query, but this process is associated to the opportunity, then I will have the opportunity there, right? So I will be querying that. So I will use this connector here and I'll use the record list records here, and the entity will be the opportunity sales process. Okay, so here I will have another filter attributes here, you can see. So I can use here, but before that let me take all the opportunity sales process here. In this case, what will happen, uh, all the opportunity sales process associated with all the opportunities available here in the system, it will display me those records here. So I'm going to test this by manually. I'll going to update test it. So I'll perform the manual operation here once. Okay, so I'm going to change from develop to propose, save. Okay, now workflow has been triggered, and it will list me all the opportunity sales process here. You can see this is the downloaded file. So here I have all the opportunity sales process record, but I'm interested in the particular one I'm looking for. So for that I have to filter my record list, right? So for that I have the filter attribute name is this one. I'm looking for this value. So whenever the opportunity ID is equals to the particular opportunity where it has been triggered, then I will use that one. So I'll copy this field here, and then inside my design here I'll give that one. So filter attributes equals, it is normal or data query, so equals, and here I will be passing the dynamic value of the opportunity ID, so which is nothing but the record when it was triggered. So it is opportunity ID here. So now I will have the filtered opportunity list here of the sales process. So let me save this and I will run the test again. So in this case, I will have the filter results. Now you can see I have the result is successfully returned, and you can see based on the opportunity I value here, the record will be retrieved. Okay, so now what we need is we need the process stages here, because these things, this each individual components, qualify, develop, propose, these are the process stages, and these are coming from the category. As I mentioned before, these are the categories here, right? So from this it is coming. So this is having the separate GUID inside the system. We need to retrieve that. So for this I will list the another I will add another step to list the record, list record, and that will be a process stage here. process stage. Here this one, process stages, and I will have the filter attributes for this also, because I want to retrieve the process stage only those one which are associated to my particular, this process here. So there will be, you will have the other process which will be using, all those different stages here as available, and if you have another stage configure, then you will be using that one. But in my case, I want to retrieve only those one which are associated here, right, in this flow. So for that, I have to filter it my result again, right? So for this, what I'm going to do, first let me list all those states, then later on I will try the filter. I'm going to test it again. Okay, so here is the result of those which are retrieved. You can see we have different, different opportunities, open sales process, and for that we have different stages here. So I'll copy this data, I'll format it. So here record is formatted, and in this I will have the body here, and inside the value here, value results. Here I am interested in looking for the, you can see here we have the process ID here value. This indicate the process state, process value each stage. So I'm looking for this one. So I will be using this process ID value here to get the each process name here. So you can see the stage name also we are having, so like that I will be interested in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the condition here, filter attributes, and it will be based on the process ID here. I'll take the process ID, this one. Now here I have to pass the process ID. So here I have to look for process, yeah, this one, process value. So I have filter now. So process ID equal to this one. So now I will have only those process stages which are available for my opportunity sales process. So let me save this and I will run this again. Okay, so it has been executed. So you can see in the downloaded data, so you can see now I have 4 different records I will have here, 1 2 3 and 4. So these are the 4 records which are coming from this one. So these are the 4 different stages has been used under this opportunity sales process for this record. Okay, so I have retrieved this one. So what I need is I need the GUID of these stages. So here I need the stage ID and the stage name just to compare. So I will be using the switch statement now to get, based on the stage name, if it is developed, then I want this stage name, because this stage name I have to use to set this traversed path here. I have to update that, right? So I'm going to edit this. So before that I have to use the variables here to store these values. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple of variables here. So first one will be the qualify variable, and this I'll take as a string. Initialize variable, and this will be the develop. This will be a propose. And the last one will be the close. So okay, so all those variables I have taken. So let me rename this here. It is for qualify. This is for develop. This is used for propose, and this is for close. So I have taken those four variables here. So I will be assigning the GUID of this one, a stage ID, to these variables. So before that, I have to use the switch statement here. So I'm going to add statement here. So below this retrieve list 2, I'm going to add this switch statement here. So control, and here I have switch, and switch will happen on the stage name here, right? This stage name based on the develop and all. So here I'll take the dynamic value. So it is a stage name, and you can see here process stage name here. Type the name of process stage name. So I'm taking this value on this process stage name, and here I have to check the case first of all if it is qualify. So you can find that here inside this below develop. This is develop, then we have qualify here. This is close. This is for propose, and I think second one is for the qualify, this one. So this is for qualify. So we have to compare this name. So here first of all we will take the qualify. So here we'll check with qualify. If it is qualify, then I will assign the variable here. So variable, and here we'll set the value. So it is the qualify, and the value will be the process stage ID. So this one, process stage ID. Likewise I will do for the remaining other, that is for develop. This is for develop. Next is the propose. And the last one is close. Okay, so all the variables we have initialized. For the close, we are setting the close variable. For the propose, we are setting the propose variable. For the case of develop, we are setting the develop variable, and for the case of qualify, we are setting the qualify variable. So all the variables has been simplified now. So what we need now is another switch statement, just to compare when the stage is changed, then this value will be changed, right? This numeric value. So like as I have shown before, this 0 or 1, 2, and 3 will be changed, right? So based on this value, what is selected, then I have to update my stages here. So I'm going to add the another switch statement here, switch, and this will happen on the process sales stage, and this is coming from the when the record is changed. So we have the sales stage. When the record is updated, we have this one, sales stage. So based on the change of this value which is selected here on this record, then I will have the different case. When case is 0 means it is qualified, then I have to update my record here. So we'll take the current environment connector here and we'll update the record here. So we have the update record, and the GUID of this record, that is opportunity sales process, because we have to update this one record of this one opportunity sales process. So the entity type will be opportunity sales process here. So opportunity, this one opportunity sales process, and the item ID will be the ID which is coming from the retrieve first list. When we did this first list, this one, so which is nothing but querying through the opportunity sales process, right? So this ID we have to pass here to identify the record. So here it is opportunity sales process, this one. And what we will update, so we can have here, these are the separate several data you can update here. You can say the active stage if you want to do, but I'm only interested in updating the traverse path for this process. So here I have the traverse path here. So once it is qualified, then this has to be selected, right? The GUID of this one we have to pass here. So here I'll take this one as a qualify variable here. That is why I have used the variable here to set the dynamic value. So it is done. Then same I'll do for the other three process. So when it is 1 means it is for the develop. So here I'll update the record. So in this case, since when it is developed, then you can see the two boxes has to be selected. So for this case, we have to pass the two GUID here. The first one will be the opportunity here, sorry, qualify here. So first one is qualify, then comma separated, and then will be the develop here. So now, so that these two checkbox will be selected here. These two box will be selected here. Okay. Next case is for the propose. The value is 2. The record identifier will be opportunity sales process. And here, since when it is proposed, then these three options has to be checked, right? Has to be selected here, right? These three boxes, it has to be highlighted. So that is why I have to pass qualify, develop, and propose. So it has to be qualify first, develop, then the propose. If you'll not take this way, this path as a first path as per this one GUID, then you may get error like the update operation could not find the qualified stage, because this is the first stage. It has to be selected at least, right? That is why first stage is important. So first stage you have to keep always as a qualify. In this case, if you have any flow and where there is another stage for that, then make sure that a stage is always selected for that. Okay. And then finally is case 3 for close. So I'm going to add update the record. And here in this case, since it will go to close, then all these 4 has to be highlighted. So I'll take all those 4 variables now. So first one will be the qualify, then develop, propose, and then finally close. So now we have done with the design of the flow, and let's test it. So I'll go to the record here and I'm going to change this from propose to develop here. Since it is highlighted to this, you can see till it is highlighted to propose. So when I change to develop and save the record, when I refresh this, then it has to be selected till develop here, right? So let me save this, and we can check if the workflow has run successfully here. It's running. So it has been succeeded, and when we check the stage here, now you can see the till develop it has been selected. So like this guys, you can design the any process. If you have any requirement to update the business process flow from the third party system, and you want to update the traverse path or make the particular stage active, so you can use the Power Automate and design, and you can do that. However, I will export this package and put in the GitHub locations. You can download for that if you want to use. And thank you for watching this video guys.